Once upon a time, there were 4 young kids. They were all in an honors physics class with Mr. Getty, the best. While learning about Newton's 3 laws of forces, they came upon quite a conundrum. How would they ever prove that acceleration is inversely proportional to mass if force was held constant? Well, they were in luck, as Mr. Getty had the perfect experiment for them. Take a car and find how changing one variable from the equation net force equals mass times acceleration would affect the other variables. As they set out on their physics adventure, they hypothesized that if they increased the mass of an object being pulled by constant force, then the acceleration of the object would decrease. They created a plan of action. They would tie a 100-gram weight to the car over a pulley and use that as a pulling force. And this 100-gram weight would not change, so the force would remain constant. They would then add increasingly heavier weights to the car itself in order to change the total mass of the car. They would then record the amount of time it took for the car to travel 100 centimeters through several trials. They would attempt to accurately record this by filming the car and subtracting the final time from the start time. With this procedure in mind, they set out on their experimental feat. They worked hard, collected some data, and began their calculations. After hours of hard work, they had 6 different data tables for each of their different trials. After analyzing their data tables and using some math involving knowledge from their Physics 16 and Honors Advanced Calculus and Linear Algebra classes, they were able to calculate the average travel time and acceleration of the car in each trial. As the mass of the car increased, so did the travel time. Thus, the acceleration had decreased as the mass increased. With this information, they were able to design a big, beautiful graph that showed the relationship between the total mass of the car and its acceleration. As they had hypothesized, their graph illustrated that as the mass of the car increased, the acceleration decreased, showing an inverse relationship between the two. From this, they could conclude that Newton was actually correct in saying that acceleration is inversely proportional to mass and thus directly proportional to net force. They did have a couple potential errors during their experiment though, considering they were just 4 high school students with limited resources and knowledge. Some errors include potential misreadings of the time in the videos due to poor video quality, inability to start and stop the car at exactly the same place for every single trial, and also they accidentally crashed the car a couple times and changed the position of the pulley. However, overall, the data they were able to collect ultimately proved their hypothesis.
Created using Powtoon.